sound effect button.
That was me leaning over in my chair.
We are Squawking Dead, a podcast pulverizing programs beyond the Walking Dead universe.
Sometimes we give you news, sometimes we make you laugh. Most times we go deep. This individual was David Cameo.
This individual, at one point in time, was formerly Cosmo Mom 09.
This individual was Lazy Gardner.
And we're here to talk to you about Pluribus' 7th episode of its wonderful, chaotic inaugural season titled The Gap. And finally, 2 episodes is too many for this to not be the case, but finally we're going to see how the title of this episode relates to what we just saw a couple times to get notes and enjoy and all that stuff. What is the meaning of the gap in relation to this episode?
Well, Sharondy was right about Manousos' journey through the gap. And also, I think it refers to the gap in time that Carol is alone, because we see, I would say, a significant time jump. She spends a lot of time alone. So there is a huge gap in her human interaction, which can make probably all of us go crazy. Solitude sounds nice in theory, but after a while, it's going to drive all of us nuts. You're going to start losing it at some point.
We're social animals.
Yeah.
Right, Sharondy?
Yeah, it starts with the singing to yourself when there's no radio available.
Wasn't that long.
I can drive around for a little while without the radio on and stuff and just the quiet, but after a while, I need noise. That's a relatively modern construct because they didn't have radios back in caveman days and whatnot, and people were forced to sit and listen and be with their thoughts. We do not have the ability to sit with our thoughts anymore. There's always has to be noise going.
Oh, no, I can't even stand 10 minutes of silence. I wake up and I turn my TV on immediately. I fall asleep with something playing. I cannot be in complete silence. Now, that doesn't mean I'm singing to myself. If Silas isn't over here, I could easily go the entire weekend and not speak unless we're recording. This is the first time I've spoken today, being here with you guys.
So that's an interesting strata because, I mean, every year for Jews that are in any way even mildly observant, I mean, it's not necessarily always the case, but on Yom Kippur, those who don't really go to synagogue during that 25-hour fast and they'll stay at home probably don't do anything. They don't speak to anybody sometimes, but they also don't watch TV. They're not on their phone, all of that stuff, because it's electronics. It's you can't be using electronics or fire or whatnot. So you're maybe reading a book for 25 hours, you know, you're in synagogue, you're praying. So then you get your social animal stuff from there. But if you don't, and you're not really observant, you still want to fast, you're at home alone, not doing all the stuff. So there is practice there. But that noise period where she is at after 48 days is well after that. She's gotten to that healthy point where she can be alone by herself. And then we've blown right past it. That's where she is at after 48 days. For us, we need a digital detox. That's about a month, right? To retrain like a dog yourself to be offline. Then after that is when the crazy starts happening. I'm comfortable hearing my own thoughts. We're in sync. We're saying we now because it's me and myself. And then after that, that's where Carol's at, which is amazing because she was on a strong start. And then the fireworks incident happens. What is she listening to at the end?
Judas Priest, you got another thing coming.
And what's the lyric? I'm never going to give up, basically.
If you think you're going to blow my mind, you got another thing coming, something like that. And it's another think coming, not thing, y'all. It's think. You think I'm going to go mad, you got another think coming. It's not thing. It drives me nuts.
Okay. They have to think again because I'm never going to give up.
I don't mind being alone. I get in my car and ride alone for all the time. It doesn't bother me. But 30 days of alone, that is stretching it a little bit. I would struggle with 30 days without anybody. 36, actually, because it's 36 days from the 12 to the 48. Right. So that is a long time to go without any kind of contact with anyone. The only contact she had was Patrick Fabian's voice on the phone. That was
a nice voice.
Nice voice, but after a while it's mechanical because it's repeating and all the intonations, nothing changes.
36 days of listening to it, you would just be like, I can't listen to this man speak another word ever again.
I saw a video on TikTok and it was somebody like calling the Patrick Fabian line, pretending to be Carol. And they were like, shorten the message. Click. Why hasn't she asked them to shorten the message?
That was one of our comments, by the way, on TikTok as well. And I actually fully expected her to actually shorten it, which is interesting that she didn't. Because at the beginning of this episode, she got used to it. Like you said, Charity, she adapted to the current situation.
And it's still someone's voice.
Yeah, this is a familiar something. Oh, this is nice. I'm actually hearing a facsimile of a human over and over again. If that's all the human context she's going to get, she's going to milk it at this point. And then she wins the $10,000 scratcher.
Yay.
Nobody to share it
That
with.
also had a little bit to do with her breaking eventually because, again, hearing that message over and over and over again, what I was getting angry at, consolidate your calls. Let me think about all the things I need to ask for right now and do it all at one time instead of saying one thing and then hanging up. I feel like at the beginning, she was also just trying to be annoying. Let me just be as annoying as I possibly can to these people.
You mean
and
to
just
the
give them-
audience, right?
Well, to the others. But yeah.
Oh, okay, sure. I got you. And I think
But
she's
they
saying
don't care, so the joke's on her.
Is the hive mind, excuse me?
Right. They don't
appreciate
care,
it.
but she's still taking time away from somebody doing something to make them listen to her call again.
This is going to sound very strange, but the hive mind is one single being that is a collective. All the individual personalities within it are, maybe this is my opinion, but they're gone. All that's left are the memories, the knowledge, etc. But the personalities, they're gone. There's no individual people in the hive mind, I don't think. It doesn't feel like it anyway. And so what does the hive mind interact with aside from the remaining survivors? And the hive mind has expressed a very distinct love for Carol over and over. They love everything Carol does. Doesn't matter if Helen in particular at the time didn't think she was as talented as she could have been, but they love everything she produces. And they feel the love that was experienced from individuals, right? So when she comes back, do you feel like they love Carol?
Well, no, because Larry Kless said is they see things through everybody's eyes. So there are a distinct group of people who did love Carol in the before. And so through their eyes, they love Carol. They don't look at the negative. This person said, oh, I hated her writing. Well, they don't take that person into account. That's not part of what they draw. They only see the stuff that they loved. So, yes, a few people love Carol. So they're using those people's distinct personalities to say we love Carol because those people love Carol.
Well, and they're making a choice. And then that choice is love. The only reason why I asked the question is because in a way, the hive mind is interacting with all the other survivors. That's true. But if the hive mind is, let's say, polyamorous, there's a love for the remaining survivors outside of them. Because the hive mind itself could feel lonely too. There's a longing maybe of the hive mind for Carol. We're seeing it from the perspective of Carol, not throughout, but for the beginning of the end. And sometimes I wonder the way in which the hive mind interacts towards Carol is a sort of longing and love and wanting the best, biggest cheerleader ever. Hi, Carol. And there's maybe I wish we were friends, but we need space because you hurt my feelings.
It's because Carol tried to kill them several times.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yes, that is hurt feelings.
Or also, like I said, the free speech thing, you can't not hear it once it enters your earlobes. So they have to run away from the danger. Because like Walter White, Carol is the danger. She's the one who knocks.
Since you brought up Breaking Bad real quick, I have a quick little anecdote. The Georgia O'Keeffe Museum that she goes to, it's also where Jane took Jesse on their date in Breaking Bad. Which, by the way, they could not film that in the museum. They had to build a small replica of a portion of the museum and replicate the paintings because they couldn't have all the lights in there to film in the actual museum.
I should mention this one resource. This one page from Decider.com has a list of all the songs either hummed, sung, featured, played in the background, also in the convenience store, which I completely missed. All of that you can find on decider.com/2025/12/12/pluribus-episode-7-soundtrack-every-sings-in-the-gap. It's so handy. I felt like I needed to say that because that's where I got all the resources from for my notes. For example, she's humming and then she finally sings REM's It's the End of the World as We Know It.
Uh-huh.
But in particular are the lyrics.
But she doesn't finish it. She says, I feel, and then they cut it off. So we don't know. Does she feel fine? Does she feel
To the title music.
no? Does she feel fraught? It could have been any number of things she said.
And I feel effed.
Yes. I'm sure she
Exactly.
does,
She
actually.
feels fruit punch
Fruit punch.
Fruit punch. With the sugar.
or fireworks. She feels
Ice
fireworks.
cold.
So many Fs. She feels frosty.
Did you notice that all the foodstuffs were gone from the store? All of the snacks and everything? The cigarettes and the fireworks were still there.
Yeah. And the lottery tickets, of course.
Right.
Mhm.
What use are scratchers?
Uh-huh.
What is the point of Vegas now? There is no point to it unless you make a point.
I had that thought with the scratchers. Well, also the sign, but I was like, what the point's Vegas? What's the point of scratchers anymore? Yay, I win. Nobody to even share that with. Oh, I won. If money mattered, that would have been fun to share with someone, even if money didn't matter. You'll notice also when she is speeding off, obviously she's coming home from Vegas and there's all these pit stops, right? But what you may not have noticed is that she's driving on the wrong side of the road because, well, F it. Now I feel F it.
Why not?
I'm surprised she didn't even run the lights, too. As long as they're going on the wrong side of the road.
After 30 plus years of driving, I don't think I could not stop at a stop sign. You know what I'm saying? Even if I know there's nobody else coming. But then again, you don't know because there could be somebody out there driving. They still drive and do things. So in my head, I don't think
Maybe
I
they
could
missed
do that.
someone.
I don't think I could do it. I would have to stop. That's just psychological stuff. Driving on the wrong side, maybe I could do that. But the stopping, not
Especially
stopping,
on the desert.
that would be very hard.
Well, this actually brings up a bigger point in this episode between the two mirror images of a character, Manousos and Carol, is obviously they had some differences between the two. Obviously, Manousos is way, way, way more into saving the world than Carol, obviously. But this episode not only shows those differences, it shows the difference in character and how they move about the world. Manousos does this thing where we ask the question, why does he bring money, idiot? Well, what do you need money for, right? Scratchers, money, whatever, who cares? But we figured out that he is so committed and also manifesting that the world return to the way it was before, that he leaves money for when it all comes back to normal to the people whose gas he siphoned off along the way, which was the first bit of admiration that I had for him. You go down the line and it's like, wow, he's so committed to saving the world. He's determined that there is an after enough for him to repay his debts, to not depend on the fact that the world ended. To him, the world didn't end. It's just a temporary condition until he fixes it. He himself will right the wrongs.
There's another aspect of the gap. It's the gap between him and Carol. Whereas they kind of started off the same as in F these others. And while Carol has said F them and yet still taken whatever she needed from them, Manousos has been like, no, like seriously, F you. I'm not taking anything from you at all. I'm wondering if he gets there and Carol is not that Carol anymore because she's got Zosha, whatever their relationship is going to be, she has someone that she's clinging to now. So I don't know that when he gets there, she's going to be the same person and have the same feelings. We're not exactly sure how long he traveled, but I'm sure he's been hospitalized for quite some time with his wounds. When he gets there, I'm not sure that it's going to be what he expected out of Carol. A month ago, Carol's not the same Carol.
Right. And the fact that he's not there already, to me, was a lot of information, at least on his end. There's several reasons for that to be. Could he still be in the hospital? I wouldn't say that's likely. And if he's not in the hospital, let's just say, why? Why isn't he met up with Carol is what I'm saying.
I'm
What
thinking
stopped
he's
him?
going to be hospitalized for a long time because they pointed out to say that even a small cut can be fatal from the bacteria on those plants. And he legit had a bed of nails shoved into his back. And then he tried to fix it by cauterizing it. So I am legit 100% sure that he spent at least 2 to 3 weeks in the hospital. He's just now coming to or getting to where he can walk. I'm sure he had a lot of problems, serious bacterial infections. That does some damage. So who knows? He may have had to relearn to walk again or whatever. If that's the case, then he's had to reconcile himself to the fact that he took help from them this whole time.
He's looking upwards. The sun is in his eyes. It's a very clear day. And so maybe he was trying to shield himself from the light and they took it as a wave for them to intervene, which is kind of another bit of information too.
They were already coming down before he laid and put his hand up. They were going to pick him up no matter what. That was for us to decide if he was giving in and waving or if he was trying to block the sun. They were going to pick him up regardless.
Do you think they would have, Rachel?
They were watching him every step of the way. If anything would have happened, one of them would have been there to provide help, whether he wanted it or not.
Well, let me add another wrinkle, because if they say that they don't even intervene with living beings, do they make an exception for humans?
Well, they won't intervene to kill something.
Right.
That's-
No. No. There's intervene, harm, or kill. It's or, not and. So intervene means guiding even life.
If they weren't going to intervene, then they wouldn't bother having people in the hospital. They would just let them die.
Right.
They wheeled them out and made sure they took them with them when they left Albuquerque. They would have just left them there to die if they didn't.
That would be leaving themselves in to die.
If they required his permission, they would just left him there. Their prime biology thing is to protect life. They can't kill anything. They can't protect them against each other. If it had been another person there trying to kill Manousos, then they can't do anything. But Manousos wasn't being killed or harmed by somebody else. He harmed himself, basically.
But I don't think their job is to protect life. Again, I don't think they have a job. I think the only imperative is to assimilate. That's the only one that we know of. The highest dictate. As far as everything else goes, maybe Carol with the wolves, we made like a lot of assumptions that if a wolf was to get, I think that's what we're trying to deduce is there an order so that maybe they'll protect humans over all other beings?
They can't protect humans from outside forces. If an animal is attacking a human, they can't do anything about that. Except save the human who was attacked afterwards. They can't do anything to make the animal stop attacking the human.
I imagine there's still animals out in the wild fighting each other, right? So I wonder if they're scooping in and saving any of the animals who are hurt.
The further down the rabbit hole you go, you can break even and just say they are willing to save humans because they're the things that they can assimilate. They would be saved so that they could be assimilated at some point. Or we're talking about the only remaining survivors.
Then why save Zosha after she got blown up?
No. So Zosha is of them. You can't not save yourself. We haven't seen anybody go, wolf, wolf, eat me, right? We haven't seen that yet.
And they might be looking at Manousos and Carol as future
potential.
Thems.
Yeah, exactly.
In order to
like we want them to be part of us.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. That's where my break even is. Okay, maybe they can wiggle room that because they can't do it to animals. I had this thought while we were talking, like, wait, what if they're also using their drones to track animals and save them? But they can't save them from each other. They can only save them from themselves, right? Like Manousos, right? But like they're secretly tracking every single animal. Maybe that's what they're doing with all their time. All 7+ billion, almost 8 of them.
No, we saw what they were doing. They're folding clothes, David.
Which very cool that we got to see that. Finally, somebody took a bath, cleaned their clothes, etc.
Yeah. Think of all the microbes they're killing.
How dare they? But I was actually thinking about this. I was thinking we as individuals would want to change our appearance or our clothing type and all. But it makes sense that they stick with the clothes that they came in with, and they probably just wash those and put those back on. And if they put them back on, it's really just for the remaining survivors. Because I had this thought, they could just be out there naked.
Why does clothing matter at all?
Right, unless it's to keep them safe from the elements or weather or anything to that effect. Yeah, well, that too. But I think there's going to be a blurb about that in the future episode. Oh, we do this because of you guys. You guys have hangups about appearance and stuff. We just use the clothes we came in on. That's what we're most familiar with. Jeff with his biking bike shorts and stuff. Very uncomfortable.
Jeff cares.
Jeff cares. I know it's the gap between Manousos and Carol, and that closed in somewhat. He did a great job. He got yay far. He went past many different countries like Peru, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador. Not in that order, obviously. He did a good job. The gap that I was thinking of when the episode ended, I'm like, it's emotional, is the gap sometimes that we place between us and other people or people in general. The idea that we can put space, or like the hive mind says, we just need a little space. And how long and stubborn some people are willing to be when it comes to keeping themselves away from other people.
Manousos is just like the hive mind. He's too effing stubborn. They won't pick an apple. He won't take a trail of death because he's so stubborn. He's got to know that they're not lying. A, Carol said they can't lie. B, he knows what the Darien Gap is, I'm sure. I feel like he's had some kind of paramilitary training or something in the past, just from the way he behaves when he's on the road, the precautions he takes, being comfortable so much out in the open and out in the wild. But you're going to die if you try to walk this. Clean water is going to be a problem. There's these bushes with 6-inch long spikes that will kill you if you scratch by one. And he's so stubborn, he's like, nope, I'm still going to try to walk it. The joined, we'd rather die than pick an apple. He'd rather die than take someone's help. Seems a little bit the same.
Right. This is the point of contention that I had a little bit with Manousos.
Yeah.
Total hero. Even the burning of the car on a level was kind of
No,
this
no.
guy's a true
Totally lost me.
badass.
He
Sad.
lost
But then-
me at burning the car. I had one of
No,
those. He lost me
that
at
was
burning
the
that
other
car.
side of the coin. You're like, I was such a fan of his until he babied it. He didn't need to push start it and all that. Right? It's like you take a journey with something and you think you'd respect it, but no, just to make a point. I would rather burn this than let you lay one finger on it, essentially.
Mhm.
And then he says, he gives you his ethos mostly with saying the fault, because I had to write it down. It was so good. Nothing on this planet is yours. Nothing. You cannot give me anything because all that you have is stolen. You don't belong here. And he's like, well, I'm going to exterminate you because you're a ratas. You guys suck.
I think Manousos shares my theory. The aliens are coming.
And they're going to eat him? I don't think he's thinking they're going to eat him. He's like,
No.
they're unwanted guests.
Yep.
Just like my bitch mom was. Maybe. No.
Okay.
I did have a thought, by the way, after our last episode. If these two are Amira, Carol, and Manousos, whatever the mom is, could be from birth, could be later on that she ran out or whatever, or disowned him. If they're mirror images of one another, could he not be gay also? And maybe his mom didn't appreciate that very much.
He also seems to be extremely Catholic. He could have the same sort of past as Carol with conversion therapy type
That's
stuff.
an additional mirror.
If that's the case.
So that's a good open door to the little icon that's on his rearview mirror. It's the El Virgen del Carmen.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Virgin Mary, basically, but it's a specific kind of icon. So El Virgen del Carmen translates to the Virgin of Carmen, or more formally, Our Lady of Mount Carmel, a special title for the Virgin Mary associated with the hermits on Mount Carmel in Israel, making her the patron saint of sailors, the Spanish Navy, Chile, and many other groups, especially in Spanish-speaking countries, celebrated on July 16th.
He didn't take it off and put it in his pocket. He didn't keep it with him. He let it burn along with the car.
Exactly. Well, and if it's associated with hermitude, isn't that a sign of him in his own way reaching out to whatever's left? Not the hive, obviously, but him trying to reach beyond hope. Carol, I don't need this anymore. I don't know. It's a reach, but let me finish the spiel. It's the origin comes from the Carmelite order who lived on Mount Carmel, which means, it says here the Garden of God, but Carmel is translated in Hebrew is Kerem El, which means the vineyard. Kerem El means God, the vineyard of God. So also titled the Star of the Sea. Our Lady of Mount Carmel is the Star of the Sea, the Stella Marie, and Mother of the Poor in Mexico. Patroness of sailors, fishermen, the Spanish Navy, Chile, Colombia, and more. The feast day is celebrated on July 16th with large festivals, especially in coastal towns, which he was driving up for a portion of it. In essence, she's a revered Marian figure representing protection, especially at sea. And who is he if not a sailor lost at sea, metaphorically speaking? No man is an island, especially the Canary Islands, which they milked a lot of the overhead shots from, which we had noticed from episodes 1 and 2 at the very least, with the scenic boardwalks and the... Remember that road that Zosha was driving down on her scooter that you had a question about? That was also the Canary Islands.
They filmed this in Spain, the Canary Islands, Mexico, and Albuquerque, and I think another part of South America. So there were actually 4 MGs.
You mean MG midgets?
Yes, and in some of those different places, the design was slightly different. So they actually had to have someone come in and redesign all of the cars so that they all look the same. They did actually burn the car. They actually really set it on fire, which I was like, I'm so disappointed in you guys.
So now you don't want to watch the series anymore.
I had an MG.
They
I
couldn't
love
give
MGs.
one to you instead of burn it?
No, I'm so disappointed. I could have taken one of those.
Vince Gilligan. He choosing this as his patron saint or patroness saint, it was kind of interesting. Trying to be comfortable being alone. And then that got me down a line of thinking of what he chose as his profession. He's among all of people's forgotten stuff. He chooses that life. The unloved, the things they hide away in a little cubby outside of their home because there's no room for that beloved thing anymore. They still love it, but they love it from afar. And is Manousos that too? He's someone to be loved from afar? I don't know. It got me thinking, who is this kind of guy that chooses this as his way of life? That this is something that is apropos to his nature?
He's just unlucky in the fact that he didn't find a Helen to stand up and be his front-facing self.
To complete him.
A Helen or a Hank, whichever you want to go.
Right, exactly.
His license plate says L. Fritz, German shortened for Frederick. It also means benevolent ruler. Maybe he had a Helen, and Helen's name was Frederick, and that's Frederick's car. Maybe he lost his Helen.
I didn't think of that, but I did go on a bit of a journey with that one, because also we noticed that it wouldn't start for starters, and so it was on the fritz. There's that.
Yeah,
Maybe
on
it
the
was
fritz.
his dad's.
Of course, the whole world seems to be on the fritz at the moment, so.
Well, there you go. Temporarily until he fixes it, until he manifests its return, basically, which I love. It's pretty badass to just manifest it. But again, we go back to his profession, the patroness hermitude. He obviously was alone. And so what for? For him, he was alone before it all ended. So why is he so invested in bringing it back? Bringing back the same thing?
Because we love our chains, Dave.
It's a good point. Or, well, it's kind of like, and we've reiterated this in the Game of Thrones universe, but also on Walking Dead World Beyond. It's one thing if I choose this life. It's another thing if it's forced upon me. I get to choose my hell. You don't tell me what hell I get to endure.
What's happened on Earth isn't just about the people either. He can't go to the store when he needs to. He can't do anything like before. So him saving the world might not necessarily be about bringing the human connection back, but just him getting back to how he wants to live his life.
Well, and that's what the other criticism of mine comes towards him. So for instance, Carol at least acknowledges that the world has ended, that she's lost her love of her life and she has to bury her, etc. Even her saying it out loud, what do we do to reverse this? Let's get our scientists and doctors together. She abandoned that a couple episodes ago. There is a way to reverse this, true, but she is nowhere near close to that than before. So there's certain things that she's accepted. She accepted the fact that they can put food back into the shelves for her to they bother themselves for her convenience. They put her first in every single aspect. When Manousos doesn't rely on them whatsoever, to the point where he'll burn his car before they even let him touch it to take it across the border, etc. That's where he lost me a little bit. It's that there is no benefit in collaborating with these people.
I went from irritated to devastated in this episode in about 5 minutes. He irritated me so badly. I was like, you know what? Let him die, because this is annoying the crap out of me. I'm not saying that everybody should fall all over them or whatever, but to the point that it's self-preservation, his own self-preservation. You want to own the joint so badly that you're going to let yourself die. That is ridiculous. He'd rather break than bend.
Oh,
here comes the stubborn. I love it.
I love how committed he is to telling them to piss off, honestly.
I'm right in the middle, by the way.
I know. Like, I don't actually want to think about if this had ever happened, but I feel like if I were him, I would rather die than take their help. If I'm in it to win it, I'm sticking it out and I'm dying. They would have to force the help. The only reason they would be able to help me is because I wouldn't be strong enough to fight him off.
Even if he wasn't strong enough, he'd be like, I'll kill myself.
No, but he would let himself die.
Yeah, that's kind of why I thought perhaps he would have rather have left himself to die than be rescued by them. At least he would have gone out, going through the forest, making an effort.
Yeah.
He'll never know. He was rescued regardless of himself. And maybe he didn't even have the wherewithal to decide. He just held his hand up and perhaps that they registered as a wave. We don't know. Maybe we'll find out.
I think it's very safe to say that he would have let himself die before asking for help.
And be at peace with that, perhaps?
Yeah.
I'm curious.
I would, but maybe that's just me and how stubborn I am. Because if you do ask for that help, there's no going back. Then you feel stupid.
I'm a hypocrite for wanting to live.
But you're alive to feel like crap and feel stupid.
Exactly.
You're still alive. So.
It's not as if there were not hypocrites every single day, basically, by the way.
I know, but I wouldn't want to feel like that every day.
By dying, you're letting what is left of yourself be gone.
Right. And that's not worth holding on to principle.
But with my pride, so we're good.
Yeah, well,
my precious pride.
Before the fall, darling. Pride goeth before the fall.
Right. Amen, sister.
There is a big problem in our society with people asking for help. Do not be a Manousos. Ask for help if you need it. It's that easy. Nobody's going to think less of you.
They'll think less of me.
They would think less of themselves.
I would think less of me.
There's a lot of people out there that need help. So if you need help, ask for it.
Again, I'm in the middle.
A lot of people can't admit they need it either, or don't think they need it,
or don't think they deserve it. It's also a big problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you're hitting something that I think is more apropos to Manousos.
Yeah.
Maybe, perhaps, we're not seeing it, obviously. We don't know it. We have no reason to think it, but it could be something to keep in the back of our minds that maybe he doesn't feel like he deserves it.
We don't know enough about the character.
Yeah.
We don't know what mental state he's in other than stubborn.
Wait, well, I don't know. Is there any evidence to suggest that maybe Carol feels that way, perhaps?
Undeserving?
Well, and for many
Is that what you mean?
reasons, that she couldn't save Helen.
Well, I mean, after going through the things she went through when she was younger, that's one of the things they try to push in your head is you're not worthy of love if you're like this.
For
Mhm.
starters.
So the most important person who recognized her value and her worth and losing that person, that's even more devastating.
Because the programming is that you're not worthy of love if you don't do this. And that
Mhm.
could have stuck around, like you said. And Helen may have showed her that that's not true. And, well, what we find out in this episode is that, I guess, maybe, tell me if you think otherwise, that they've been together for a very, very, very long time
At
before
least
there
17
was.
years.
Yeah, because I don't think 1999 they were together. That could have been just her in Martha's Vineyard. That's
Yeah, I
Connecticut.
got the impression that those meals were relevant to her and Helen.
I thought so
They meant
too at
something to the
first.
two of them.
It's hard to tell because is it that they were together since 1999, or could these have been milestones in her life, like a retrospective?
I looked at it as this whole night was about reconnecting with Helen, the restaurant that they had their anniversary. So I also assumed those meals
Yeah, I'll go
were
with
specific
you
to
on that.
Helen. And if that's not the case, well, it's how I took it anyway. So
Yeah,
if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Sometimes we have to kind of step back because yeah, obviously all of these things have to do with them too. But yeah, probably. Yeah,
it's why I'm here to point out the obvious.
I'm doing the you thing sometimes.
Quit thinking so hard.
We don't want to go
so much
the
work.
from route. Like,
no.
Oh, wait, maybe it's something that we totally didn't think of. But you'll notice that as she goes down the line of the list of foods, she can go year. It doesn't say what it's about, but says, okay, where it's from. Martha's Vineyard, 1999. Helen's birthday, 2008. No place, but the birthday.
Yeah.
But then it goes down the list. Maritozzi. Nothing.
Am I weird? There is not one single meal in my history of life that I could be like, oh, I have nothing that I could do this with.
I can. I can't give you the date, but I can tell you where it was and what I had.
Do you know the year?
Yeah, I know the year.
Okay. She had a year and an event. I cannot do that.
I had the best chicken parmesan I have ever had in my life at Churchill's in St. Augustine in 1989. And it was so good. I've never been able to find anything as good as that.
Oh, what does it say about? I could tell you the worst meals, but not the best. The worst ones stick out to me.
Fry bread, Route 66, shortly after 9/11, 2001. Not the best, but it was memorable. I was like, oh, what is this? This is delicious. It lit up my mind.
We were driving from Florida to Arizona, and we stopped in Texas. This was in 1988. I couldn't tell you where in Texas, but it was a roadside stand that had tamales. I remember that very well.
All right.
It was unbelievable.
One just popped into my head.
If you were Carol and you had all the time in the world.
Okay, that's fair. I feel like these things were just like at the forefront of her memory. I guess if I sat down and thought about it, I could think of some memorable
meals, especially if this person was on your mind and these food feasts to commemorate certain events in your life or milestones in your life or each other's lives. I'm sure you could think of a few.
I remember the food.
It's the people that you share it with. And maybe as you go down the list, you'll be like, oh yeah, I totally didn't even, this is totally not in my brain, but now I remember that this happened at this moment during this meal that I had with this person that I'm trying to think of constantly because I wish they were here right now at the end of the world. Maybe. It's just kind of cool that she had that wherewithal to say, instead of asking for ice cold Gatorade with real sugar, maybe I can use this.
I'm with her though. I don't want tepid Gatorade either. Lukewarm.
It doesn't matter to me, but instead of that, let me deck myself out, fake it till you make myself feel good about myself for once at this whole crazy journey. Just the hot springs. It's getting hot in here, folks.
Even at the restaurant, she ran into the same problem. It was fine for a few minutes being there by herself, but eventually the silence got to be too much, and she still had to go and start the player piano just for some sound. Again, hearing her own thoughts constantly.
Not even noise from the city.
Right. Well, there is no noise from the city.
That's what I mean. Like
Yeah.
complete silence.
Yeah.
Right, the
terrifying.
lights and the fire, but no noise, right? Yeah, no
Mhm.
honking of
Maybe
horns
some
in the distance.
howling, but you know, you did note the song that she picked.
Yeah,
Yes.
Glory Gainers, I Will Survive,
I Will
essentially.
Survive.
It's like psyching yourself up. And isn't that the howling at the wolves too? The howling at the wolves is you just psyching yourself up. It doesn't do anything. It's not going to repel the wolves. If anything, they'll be like, oh, it's our wolf mother.
Yeah. What if she was telling them that that area was in the clear and they could come over there? That's what I kept
Wolf,
thinking. I'm
wolf,
like, you don't know what you're
eat me over
saying.
here.
Maybe
That's
they
what she was
stopped
saying.
howling because they're on their way to you.
Yeah. What if you're speaking wolf and you're like, come on over here, guys. Everything's cool.
Well, isn't that also another reason for the fireworks too? It's like, we can't keep depending on the lights because they're obviously not working and they keep building up. So let's get bigger and bigger fireworks every single night to light, which is not a bad way to do things.
Sure.
If I had fireworks, I'd be lighting them off every single day. Who cares?
I would too.
Just another reason why they had to build the cul-de-sac and not build an actual neighborhood.
I'm beginning to see the appeal.
Right.
I'm going to close the book on Fritz. Outside from On the Fritz or Fritz as a Frederick, whatever. It's a Google AI, but just bear with me. El Fritz in a South American context, especially Paraguay, likely refers to Dr. Adolf Fritz, a German spirit channeled by a Brazilian psychics, or potentially Fritz Berger, a German engineer in the Chaco War, or even a local figure like Bishop Miguel Fritz. But the most famous is the spiritual healer connecting to a mystique around German figures in Brazil/Paraguay, often linked to World War II or spiritualism. Let's go through all 4 examples. Dr. Adolf Fritz, the most prominent Fritz in South American spiritualism. He's a supposed German surgeon whose spirit channeled, quote unquote, through the psychics like Zé Arrigo in Brazil. I know that's pronounced wrong. For healing, often involving spiritual surgeries, which, by the way, is hocus pocus. The thing where they pull the napkins, the bloody napkins out of the hand. Oh, we just did spiritual. Anyway. Fritz Berger, a German engineer who worked for a Paraguayan army during the Chaco War in the 1930s, reconditioning weapons and later prospected for oil, fitting the German presence in the region. Bishop Miguel Fritz, a contemporary German-born Catholic bishop serving in Paraguay, showing a current German religious presence. And Samuel Fritz, a Bohemian Jesuit. This is the one that I actually like the most. A Bohemian Jesuit missionary and explorer who mapped the Amazon in the 1700s. Less tied to Paraguay, but a significant historical German-linked figure in South America. But why Paraguay, South America? There is a historical connection with German immigration, especially after World War II. Joseph Mengele famously hid in Paraguay/Brazil, and during the Chaco War, creating a cultural presence that sometimes gets mixed up with local folklore and spiritual beliefs, making El Fritz a potentially recognizable nickname for a German figure, especially a healer or mysterious character. So if it's spiritual, it's likely a psychic healer. If it's historical military, perhaps Berger.
That was very delicate, edging around the people that went to South America after the war.
The Germans that went to South America. But the
you
Jesuit
say
priest
who
was
it
German. If contemporary religious Bishop Fritz, right. It could have been a lot of things. Maybe our dear Manousos is into Nazi culture.
Hey, I mean, it could be.
We were on his side all the way through until the point.
That would
right?
explain why he burned a British car.
He's like, I've always wanted to do this. Anyway, the maritozzi she mentioned is an iconic, what looked like beignets, the cream-filled
cream puffs.
pastries.
Oh, that was the most delicious looking thing she had on her plate.
Oh, it did look really good.
Let me explain it to you so that you can be hungry and hate us for continuing to record.
No, please don't.
Iconic Roman sweet buns made from enriched brioche-style dough, typically flavored with citrus zest and sometimes raisins or pine nuts. The buns are baked until golden brown, then split down the middle, and are generously filled with... She's taking her headphones off! Generously filled with a stripe of light sweetened whipped cream. Well, the only thing I'll say is, it's not ingredients, it's not pastries. The name maritozzo comes from the Italian word marito, meaning husband. In medieval times...
Sorry.
But it's the anniversary, marital, right?
I know, I'm laughing because there were 2 balls on a plate.
Okay. In medieval times, a version of the pastry, perhaps the Lenten version made without animal fats, sometimes with nuts and dried fruit, was part of marriage proposals. A man would give one of these buns to his fiancée, sometimes hiding a ring or another small token of affection inside. Maybe that's how it happened. And maybe because
nuts.
balls, nuts. But that's interesting. So now I think we might have uncovered when that proposal happened, maybe they both hid rings in their Maritazzi and they were like, oh, I'm so clever. I'm going to, because it's such a literary historical reference. And she did mention 2008, and this was shortly before, well, actually not that much shortly before, but as she's going down the years to each dish, right? The French toast with the fruit, and then the chicken leg with the puree and the vegetables. And then you go down and it's Maritazzi. So maybe that was marriage equality, according to the Supreme Court.
Maybe.
What was the last dish?
The last dish looked like a mushroom risotto. See, as they went down the list, also the years and the place and the meaning is stripped away from the dish. That last dish, it looked like a mushroom risotto, but that was it. She's like, oh, that's the best. These crazy guys know how to cook. And we didn't even know what the dish was, let alone a year, meaning, place, person, association.
Did they show up at the restaurant, cook there real quick, and then leave it there? Or did they cook it someplace else and then fly it in and leave it at the table?
I'm sure they used a drone to bring it in there. One of those in the cloche. They just had it in the cloche and droned it in.
I was preparing to say, "Oh, you idiot! Of course they cooked it." Then, I thought, wait, actually, no, that kind of makes more sense. Well, the drone couldn't pick up the thing, right? Remember, they couldn't pick up.
Right, it was too heavy for the drone
so
before.
They probably trucked it in and went out. See, they wouldn't use the kitchen. They just
Somebody still has to be in Albuquerque to handle the local things that Carol wants. There has to be somebody there to turn the lights on.
Do they? Can it be done remotely from someplace else?
There's lots of things that she's asking for that somebody has to be there to do it. Somebody had to be semi-close with that drone. That drone doesn't have a 40-mile range.
Don't we have delivery drones now? Drones delivering packages and stuff?
I would bet that their hubs are not more than 10 miles away from where they're delivering.
Well, let's go further. It's established that they have the internet because of the Zoom calls, etc., whatever. I mean, not that there's anybody on it, but...
Finally, Facebook is great. There's
Well,
nobody on it.
There's nothing in my feed. Why does it keep annoying me still? Anyway, right? I don't care what this person said a year ago. Facebook memories is all you have. Anyway, they could remotely control a computer near where the drone is and remotely control it from there. And then they could hop over to another computer that's closer to the drone, etc. They probably have this all mapped out. And more to the point, I was thinking about something that I had glanced at on Reddit, which I regret because now I get everything about pluribus on Reddit. It just attacks me. It assaults me. Obviously, the hive mind distancing themselves from Carol, needing space, is an expression of their desire not to be hurt by her again, maybe. On the surface level, it's totally reasonable, a great way of maintaining your integrity, both mind, emotional, psychological. But is it also a tactic?
Oh, definitely.
Purposefully isolating her?
Well, again, they have all of the greatest psychological minds in their fold, and most of them will tell you that people can't handle isolation for that long. It will break them. And they did. They broke her.
Now, I'm not saying that they're malicious.
I'm not saying it's malicious. I'm just saying the wall that she put up, they broke it down eventually.
Rachel, do you have anything to add? I felt like your face kind of went like, oh yeah, obviously they would. Obviously they're trying to break her. I would if I were them. Am I off?
It's hard to say what the motivation behind the exit was. I think initially it was self-preservation because Carol literally almost killed them a few times. So they're like, we need to not die. So we need to go over here so you don't literally kill us. And then after that, the thought may have occurred to them that she'll be back eventually because nobody can be completely isolated for that long.
It's like the raison d'etre is not being alone.
Except
It's being
Manousos,
joined.
apparently. I'm curious, though. I feel like he's going to be able to go a lot longer than Carol without human interaction.
Or not. Maybe, again, these are mirror images of people who, in a sense, you know how we say people are kind of the same all over?
I feel like he already has gone longer than she has without human interaction.
Has he?
Yes. He was not interacting with the mom. He's been isolated.
Right. But that was like 9 days. That was in. We don't know how long it took him to get even as far as he got, too. Carol made it to 48 days. Maybe he didn't even make it that long before he had to talk to somebody, obviously, in the hospital. Maybe?
But it was forced upon him. Carol reached the point where she asked them to come back. I personally think Manousos could go longer than that before needing human contact.
I'm curious. I don't think we're going to get a chance to
I don't know that we're going to. Yeah,
us.
I don't think so
because he's
either.
obviously not with Carol now. And what was it that held him? I'm just so curious about what held him up. Aside from the fact that he may still be recuperating. That's the only thing that makes sense.
I agree with Sharon D. I think it's just recovery.
I feel like it might be more.
What though? I mean, he had a goal in mind. He was set out to find Carol. So the only thing that would be stopping him is injury, which we saw.
When kids go off to college, if they're in a family that doesn't like Mexicans or whatever, okay?
Wow. Oh, keep going.
But they go to college and they meet people who are from Mexico and they meet
Right.
people from other diverse backgrounds, and they learn that these people are not the villains that they were made out to be as they were growing up. And perhaps he's in the hospital, he's being taken care of. Maybe he's adjusted a little bit. Maybe these aren't the evil things that I've come. And it could also be because he's under stress and trauma. That changes your mind as well. What is it? Stockholm syndrome? You come to like
Your captors.
I'm not saying this is what's going to happen. I'm just saying being exposed to them in a way that he can't deny them and add stress and trauma and your Stockholm syndrome. Maybe he's changed his mind a little bit. I don't think that's going to be the case because that would be a weird story to tell, but
Yeah.
that is something that would be possible in real life.
Could it be any weirder than this story anyway? I don't know. We'll see.
My feeling is if you take away the protagonist or antagonist, however you want to consider him, the pro-antagonist, I don't know.
Antagonizing
If you take away their
protagonist?
drive, then you're kind of
Right.
taking away the story. So I don't
Sure.
feel like that would be the route they go.
Yeah, he was written this way for a reason. I think they're going to stick with this direction.
But I feel like in reality, it would change
Well, sure, real life
because of a
is
person's natural things.
real life is stranger than fiction.
Well, like you said, Sharon, people adapt to their situation, and depending on the stressors, might break down the beliefs that they may have previously held or had adopted.
David, what do you think's holding him up?
One thing that occurred to me is, well, if they won't hear me out, the hive mind is thinking, we don't know where the other survivors are. If they dropped him off with other survivors, maybe he'll feel, because let's operate from maybe one principle that they've shown that perhaps they wish for Manousos to have well-being. And if that doesn't mean with them, it might be with other people for his sake. Because we don't know how far their empathy goes, let's say, or their sympathy or love for Manousos too. They have expressed, I love you, Manouso. You're a bitch, mom. But love means, okay, if it's not me, it might be with somebody else. And if they do drop him off with other survivors, perhaps that's where he is. And maybe he'll feel less of a need to urgently head to Carol Sturka. And maybe they'll fill him in on why they don't like her very much. Oh, that bitch, she excluded me from the meeting because I didn't speak English.
She killed my grandfather.
Also that. Well, and I'm talking about the non-English speakers whom we haven't met, actually. They get on a Zoom meeting. Like, well, we've got stories for you. Have you seen this video? Yes, she's a courageous person. And then they'll hate Manousos. I would love to see that video, actually. Of them being like, Manousos is, I don't really like this guy. A little too much. He's an extremist.
So, David, you think he might be visiting with some of the other survivors? Is that what you're saying?
I feel like they may have healed him up and maybe he's with other survivors. And maybe they've made it so that, I don't know. We didn't know their intentions yet, but maybe wherever that survivor is, it would be harder for him to independently get to Carol Sturka without a little bit of help, either from a survivor or from the collective. So let's say that survivor is across an ocean. Be a lot tougher. Or they're in Alaska. Even tougher. Equally hard drive to get to America, even though Alaska's in America.
Maybe they have been keeping him from her or something, but now that she's broken, it may not be as big of a deal. But I don't feel like they would try to keep him from her anyway, because they've obviously been open about delivering videos and stuff. So I legitimately think that he's just been injured and sick and is in the hospital.
I know, I would agree because they keep offering to take him directly to Carol. And if he had agreed, they would have done it.
Probably. I will say I believe that, but taking my, everybody's good, taking that hat off, it could be also a tactic. Knowing full well he'll not listen to them. Well, we're good people. Why are you so mean to us? We'll take you straight to Carol. He'll be like, I don't want your help. To push him into the dangerous thing could be a tactic. I don't believe it, but it could be.
But it had to be said.
Right? Negative reinforcement. Do the thing that's dangerous, please. Manousos, please don't go. I'm going to go. I've told you the story about how I broke my leg as a kid. My dad wanted me to not.
Don't do it.
No, my dad wanted me to go to bed. And they had people over, obviously.
I do
and I'm
remember
like,
this
no,
story.
I want to watch TV. And I'm not going to bed. And then he's like, go to bed. And I'm like, no. And he was like, okay, you can come down with us and watch TV. Like, no, I'm going to bed. And I slammed right into him. He did the whole Bugs Bunny trick with Daffy Duck. And it worked for some reason.
Because kids are dumb.
head first into his belt buckle.
I enjoyed the things that Manousos was learning to say in Spanish. The yellow dog chases the gray cat.
Who's the gray cat?
A lot of yellow imagery going on.
So he's the yellow, right? Who's the gray cat?
It's
Is this
Carol?
Carol. Yeah.
It could be a different, right, Carol?
No,
Cat?
it's Fiona.
Who's a gray cat?
Fiona is the gray cat. She was here. Are you the gray cat?
There's also the hive mind, right? If the hive mind is all the colors in a swirl, could it be the hive mind? He's chasing the hive mind. Is it a Chekhov's language lesson?
A Chekhov's gray.
All the colors swirled together make brown.
Poopy.
Oh, I thought. Oh.
Poopy.
Actually, technically, it's white, but that's the light spectrum.
Anyway.
The other thing he said was the girl saves the mouse from the trap.
Mouse, Manousos.
I've taken a lot of language lessons, and that has never been one of the prompts. The girl saves the mouse from the trap.
It's a tape from the 1970s.
I will say Duolingo has me learning some very weird phrases that I cannot ever imagine myself saying.
Yeah, I took High Valyrian, so I feel you.
Duolingo has High Valyrian?
Yeah.
All right. It's cool. Well, listen, people learn Klingon, so who am I to judge?
Yeah.
And then the other thing he says is,
I know.
I wish to save the world. We have two hero complexes here with Carol, with her pirate hero complex, and now Manousos with his jungle Tarzan complex, I guess.
Well, and what is Rachel's name? Because I thought the exact same thing. Say
whole
the
time.
whole phrase that he says first.
He says, "My name is Manousos Oviedo. I am not one of them. I wish to save the world." But all I heard was, "My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die." Every time.
The syllables are almost the same
Yeah,
too.
I know.
My name is Lakshmi. You made my son cry.
You made Robbie cry.
Don't do it again.
Don't do it again. Exactly. Don't kill 11 million people. Please don't do it again. Please don't let it be one of my kids or my husband or my mother that aren't really with me. What a bunch of crazies. But anyway, who knew that they had the right idea?
Who?
Lakshmi.
Oh.
So like, yeah, I get it. Listen, let's not be extremist one way or the other, because one is completely acknowledging that the world didn't end. Well, actually, I'm not sure who's who in this one, actually, because if you are calling this thing your son, I'm sorry, Lakshmi, you're calling this thing your son, but it's not. But in a way, isn't that accepting that the world ended? And it's like, let's just go roll with it. Carol is like half rolling with it, half not rolling. I want to save the world, but can you put stuff in the grocery, please? Can you please? I like shopping for some reason.
I don't need you for anything, but will you bring me a Gatorade?
Can I just make you do stuff like just a scorned ex-girlfriend? And then Manousos is like, I don't need you. I'll burn the world before I can let you touch anything of mine. And the world didn't end. It's just having a blip. That's Manousos' point of view. I will manifest its return. I love that for him a little. Actually, no, it's kind of scary.
He was also told that he can save the world. Carol told him.
Carol, right.
That this can be reversed.
In one of her manic episodes that she re-recorded to sound even less manic.
Yeah, he didn't think anything before he got that video. So, way to go, Carol. He's going to show up and she's going to be like, "Oh, I changed my mind."
Could you imagine
no,
if
just kidding. I don't
if
think
she
she
had
will.
sent that last video?
Meet my beautiful hive mind girlfriend.
Right. That's where this conversation goes to, right? Is that
he's really affable, by the way.
And he's like, I'm not into women. Anyway, so I believe you, I guess. Anyway, but isn't that the eventual encounter, if there is an encounter at all? Because they could do the thing where like, oh, it's like Carol and Daryl. They'll never be in love.
I mean, honestly, I'm good with that, but I don't feel like that's the way it's going to go because she was sent there to be a Helen replacement, so...
Well, no, I meant Manousos and Carol meeting.
Oh,
no,
I don't want that to happen either.
It's like a hydrogen bomb, isn't it? It's like you got the two, the atoms split, and then now it's fission, not fusion.
Well, I mean, it's not like they have to repopulate the Earth or anything.
I mean, she could be bi. Maybe, well, maybe they both were bi. Maybe we just got this all wrong. Maybe maybe that's a thing. Maybe everybody that survived is bi. Have we thought of that? It's a possibility.
Only 13 people on Earth are bi.
Only 13 people are truly bi. the gay community is going to have a field day with this.
Yeah.
The 8-year-old pony lady.
Oh, yeah.
The 8-year-old pony lady? What did you say?
There was an 8-year-old that survived.
The 8-year-old whose family raises ponies in
Yeah.
Lesotho.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I just totally forgot about that fact because it sounded made up. And it is technically because this is fiction.
Yeah.
There you go.
Last week I said something about like the grass is going to keep growing and be overgrown. And I am so gratified to show that the golf course was fully overgrown.
Yeah,
What?
I mean, from a golfer's
100%
perspective,
All the
disagree.
plants springing up and everything. Like she was getting ready to hit the ball, and you could see like the plants and stuff growing up all around it. Even a little bunny hanging out there,
with the little
wiggling its
weed,
nose. Yeah.
Sure. I mean, there was a little bit of extra plants,
little
but
bit
I
of
feel like
growth.
after 12 days, it'd be a lot longer than it was.
it's starting to show, I think, is really the point. And maybe the animals are maintaining the course in their own weird way. It's like the bunnies are eating. It's like little lawnmowers.
With the bison grazing on it.
Yeah, it's
Right.
like the Flintstones, right? With the little dinosaur lawnmower thing.
Uh-huh.
After 30 days, Carol is up on the roof banging golf balls. After 30 days, all of the courses are probably way too overgrown to hit a ball.
There you
Yeah.
go. That is a question answered. Thank you, Sharon D. Because I'm like, oh, also way more fun, arguably.
Oh,
And she's
100%.
gotten way better too.
Has she?
She was good when she started. She got it on the green on that one drive,
The
I guess,
drive.
or wedge or something. I don't know. If she was doing trick shots, she'd be like, yeah, third from the right. She hit it
I mean,
I
she
think
had
she
an
could do it.
entire side of a building.
to practice on.
She
Sure.
didn't need to aim.
She-
She
you know
could
what they
just whack
should've?
it and hit something.
They should have shown all the nearby buildings, like The Walking Dead. This is all the buildings she ruined It's in
Mhm.
48 days.
He hit those glasses pretty good.
Yeah, there you go.
I just want to bring up the Georgia O'Keeffe painting, which is Belladonna. It was painted in 1939. It's on the little thing
On the
next
placard?
to the painting. Yeah.
Okay.
Two swirling white flowers. One is open. You can see the center of the flower. The other one is kind of over it. You can't see the interior of the flower. It's kind of protecting the other one. And the reason it's hanging in their house is if that is a metaphor for Helen and Carol, that
Hmm.
Sure.
Helen was the one that was open. Or it could go the other way. Carol was the one that was open in the public and Helen was protecting her. A great painting to choose given the context of where it was hanging and everything.
Yeah.
Her meditating on it. Let's talk about why at the end she chooses to tell them to come back. It really made me think about her character on the whole. Obviously, again, we're all the same all over. We each have our breaking point, and there is a breaking point where social animals were not born to be alone. But when she realizes she's doing the same thing over and over again, she's escalating her fireworks routine, and one of them falls over and points at her, and she's like, well, this could be it. And then she realizes, oh, this isn't healthy. I've taken it too far. Maybe I do need human contact of some kind.
She was obviously not doing well. And then when she was perfectly willing to let the firework hit her and then it didn't, and even then she hesitated a minute, but she ended up doing the right thing in the end, which was going and getting the hose and putting out the fire. Self-preservation partially because it could have caught her house on fire as well, but also because that's just what you do. Which brings me back to one more thing I was mad about Manousos. Setting fire to the car in the middle of the jungle is not good. You can set the jungle on fire too. That was very careless. I was very angry about that. She did the right thing. And that showed her that she still has humanity in her. She's not gone yet. So she needs to do what she can to bring herself back from that brink, which was, I need contact.
Right. Or maybe she's letting a part of her beliefs die, whether it be saving the world or living life without this presence that has assumed the whole of humanity as a thing. And the only thing that actually wants to have anything to do with her is this hive mind also. Like on the heels of what I said last week, no one in the world wants anything to do with her except for the hive mind, which if they'd only let her give them a chance, and she does. Yeah, if you're the only thing that I can actually have a conversation with, then I guess. And also, if it makes it so that I don't harm myself again, whatever it is that you have to offer can't be nearly as bad as what I'm capable of doing to myself or letting have done to myself. And isn't that sort of the same thing with Manousos? Assuming Manousos in his own mind, we don't know, but he does mouth, which is why I say maybe he wasn't willing to be rescued. He does mouth as the helicopters pick him up. Carol Sturka, Carol Sturka, Carol Sturka. Not as the helicopter picks him up, maybe he can't even hear it, but he's collapsed and he's just saying it on his side, basically, before he turns up. I can't wait for the next episode for them to tell me because it's mean what they're doing. I don't like it, but I also kind of like it. It's kind of genius, actually. Wasn't the whole episode a lot of nothing that we're just like writing stuff about, but really what happened? Manousos is stubborn, traveled the country, and then he almost died. Carol almost died of loneliness. Mirror image.
Well, Carol almost died, but she decided to not kill herself over her pride.
And we don't know with Manousos. That's
Right.
which is the cliffhanger, in a sense. Didn't you assume the 48 days? Because it looked concrete. You're like, oh, he's in a hospital, right? Because they showed us the blue screen in the window of the hospital in that one episode. Oh, still doing it again. No, they went to Carol again. A bunch of jerks. And then, Leah, what happened to him? I want to know now.
You know why Carol painted the sign on the ground?
Because she was sick and tired of hearing the voice on the
Yes.
phone, right?
I cannot listen to that voicemail one more time.
Oh, let's add another layer to that, if you don't mind. It's the whole idea of, I once hated this thing, this voice, this Howard Hamlin / not at all. Then I grew to comfort from it. It was like, oh, if this is the only thing that will talk to me, oh, it's not that bad. I'll put it on speakerphone and then come back to it. It was like, oh, it's a little comforting. It's great to know that a voice exists in the ether. But then it's kind of like, I don't want false hope. I don't want to leave a message for it not to be returned. You're hearing this false voice now because you know they're watching you. I don't want to hear this false voice. Something about that actually hit me. I'm hearing this false voice. It gives me false hope that they'll actually answer me back and actually come back. I don't want to be told no. What if you say, can you come back? And they say no, we're not ready still? That would break me. What was Kumba's exact words to her at the end of the last episode? To have a change of heart, right?
They just want a change of heart.
And what does a change of heart look like other than not doing the same thing over and over again? What was killing them were her words. So she's showing a different way of expressing her feelings by making an effort. It's not a strange leap to connect a painting, an expression of love, even if the one flower covering the other flowers to protect it, and that's love and nurturing, right? Then her painting the street for them to see in the sky, isn't that an expression of love? It is her craft words come back. It's beautiful when you think about it. The paint is white like the flower too. Yeah, am I onto something? Oh, the chunga tree. It is a type of palm often called the black palm, vital to the Embera indigenous communities in Panama for creating beautiful coiled baskets and masks from its fibers, though deforestation threatens its availability. Thanks, Manouso, for burning your car. Just kidding, it's a wet forest. It wouldn't be that hard. It wouldn't be that easy. It's also known for its spiny trunk and its significant part of rainforest biodiversity and culture. The term appears in discussions about rainforest survival, traditional crafts, and even pop culture references to the Darien Gap. Pop culture references being pluribus, basically. Key characteristics and uses. The source of fiber, the chunga palm provides strong, pliable fibers used by the Embera women for intricate basketry and masks. Culture importance, it's deeply tied to the Embera ancestral knowledge and their role as forest guardians. Okay, that's kind of cool. Physical traits, is palm tree with distinctive spiny exterior, which presents challenges during harvesting. I imagine. Thanks, Manousos. Threats, deforestation for agriculture is making the chunga tree harder to find, impacting traditional livelihoods. And other mentions podcast show reference, the tree appears as a minor dangerous element in the Vince Gilligan show Pluribus, highlighting the jungle hazards in the Darien Gap region. In essence, the chunga tree is a living resource central to the culture of Panama's Embera people facing threats from environmental challenges. Also, more importantly, this little highlight I found in theprincessparables.com. Even the trees teach a lesson to be learned, as the 8-inch spikes on the chunga tree demonstrate. One brush against its spiny exterior introduces all kinds of infecting bacteria, plus a wound full of embedded spines. So it's not just the actual 8 inches, there's like little spines on the spines. And then the next line, by the way, so the Darien Gap sounds downright peachy to visit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What? What, Manousos?
There's a reason there's no road built through it, is all I'm going to say. Almost every other surface of the world has got a road of some sort to it or on it, and this place does not. So that should tell you all you need to know. Even when he was on the paved roads, those were some narrow,
near the end of
mountain climbing, windy roads. No, thank you.
If you're looking at the map, so what I did was every city he passed through, and this is something for you if you are interested in my notes, I do write down the cities of where he's at and where he passes and where he is on the map, basically. But as he gets towards the end, there literally is no road from El Tigre onward onto the Darien National Park. And it's fascinating. It's scary to think, too, because even some of the towns that he passes through, they're not really towns. They're just a place where someone lives. There's a house there. That's it. You get to La Honda, and then even that is like, what is that? where the river is. There's a river right before he crosses. That's basically where you last leave him. The Atrato River. No road. It's literally what he was doing. As the crow flies, the nearest hospital is in Panama. It's called the Hospital de Yavisa in Darien Province, Panama. 55 miles, which is what he was saying. It's like 100 kilometers to the nearest hospital, essentially. Like you said, Charity, that's a straight line to get to the whole thing. Obviously, they're in a helicopter. It shouldn't be a bigger deal, which is probably where he is, I would imagine. You want to get him to the nearest thing, and who knows if there are people down there. Okay, let's mention this because I'd be mad if we didn't. So I wrote this, and this will be a lead up into this scene. Parallel, they, as in the hive mind too, like Manousos, airlift Carol out of the danger, right? She says, come back, and in their own emotional way. Because, okay, here's how the scene paints out. I thought it was very clever. There's so many clever, quiet things that don't have words involved. The way shots were filmed, hieroglyphs in the foreground as Manousos is on, painting the map on the side, right? But then this scene is motion. There's people. There's dancing in a way. Carol comes out of the house, sees it's Zosha, pirate lady. She gets out of her crappy car because Carol will be more amenable to a crappy car driving Zosha, right?
Even though she's in a Rolls Royce.
Exactly. She finally relents and doesn't have a cop car or the unicorn truck.
She doesn't have to drive the cop car anymore because she's given up on being the law and order.
Exactly. So crappy car Zosha comes up. The body language is on point because even Zosha, she's still on the street. She drives as far as the end of the walkway and just stands there and she waits for Carol to make the move. Carol's walking towards her. She looks fine at first. They're going to meet up. Maybe there's going to be some dialogue. Your first impression thought, like maybe they'll talk or whatever. No talking. They just embrace. And not only that, Zosha does that, I missed you too. But then Carol's like, no. I missed you more. And it's like, we talk about Pirate Lady. We talk about her book and the pirate ship and sinking and drowning, right? The way she was holding on to Zosha was like she was hanging on to driftwood for dear life. Just like she was just holding on. She was trying to survive. It was gut-wrenching.
It was. I feel like a part of Carol was trying to convince herself that Zosha was even real. Because if you go so long without seeing another person, could you be hallucinating?
Right.
Could you want this thing so bad that you're imagining she's there? I kept waiting for her to kind of grab her by the shoulders and look at her for a few seconds. Do the face touch thing. Are you really here?
Kind of like what I was saying about the phone call. I don't want to make this call. I don't want this false hope. Please be a person. Yeah.
Oh, it was devastating. I was going along happily, kind of, Manousos is irritating me and I'm angry and, oh, this is funny. And all of a sudden, bam, right in the gut.
And what's more? Okay. How do you come back from that? How do you take that posture that you've been taking for the last several episodes? We're episode 7. It was a 2-week time span. Now it's 48 days. But then now Zosha / the hive mind, they can't unsee what they just saw. That vulnerability, her letting them it in. I don't think we'll see a Carol that is going to pretend that didn't happen. Because call Carol a lot of things. She's not going to pretend like she just didn't break down in their arms.
I think she was due for a breakdown.
Superhuman.
But also, having a breakdown one time doesn't mean you're going to change your entire outlook on everything. I know I said earlier that, she could change and be like, oh, Zosha's my girl now. But she also could be the same old Carol who just had a moment of need. I mean, it happens. It doesn't mean she's going to change her entire personality.
Isn't it what we said earlier in the conversation, too? We're kind of walking hypocrites every single day. We do things that contradict our intentions or what we say our intentions.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a hard thing to weave because if the audience detects a contradiction, because it's one thing if you collapse and then you pretend like it didn't happen, like audience may not treat that lightly. So I'm interested to see how they conduct for future or further episodes with Carol in it. So I don't think she's going to have the same stance she had before with the F me, just F you just to spite you. I'm going to make you do things. I'm going to psychologically tear you down. Meanwhile, they're doing the psychological tear down, if you know what I mean.
Whatever trajectory we see Carol go in next episode, I think it's going to be completely derailed and change again once Manousos does arrive.
You are my hero. the gray cat.
Yeah.
I'm the yellow mouse.
Dog,
he's probably
the
crazy
yellow
too.
dog.
Oh, yellow dog. Well, yellow dog Manousos, the Manousos mouse that was in the trap, right? Was he in the trap? Did they trap him with his psychological mind games?
Maybe he has to save Carol from the trap.
Either or.
Maybe he's the girl and Carol's the mouse.
So many guns that Chekhov has laid down
I know.
And some of them are songs too. I wish
And
we had
watch
time
none
to.
of them have anything to do with anything.
None of them are loaded.
Yeah.
None of those Chekhov's guns are loaded. But it has to fire. No, it's blanks, David. Blanks. They're all blanks, David.
Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back after these messages.
We just thought we'd remind you to show this episode some love by tapping that like button, if there's one to be tapped, subscribing to our podcast or channel, and if available, enabling all notifications, and sharing the show, or clips of it, with everyone you know. And don't be afraid to reach out. Leave your questions, feedback, ideas, or even concerns in the comments section. There isn't one? Head on over to ratethispodcast.com/squawkingdead and leave your thoughts there. Rating our podcast is the best way to get our attention because it also boosts our visibility. And we'll probably address it in the next episode too. And if you think there's something to what we're doing here at Squawking Dead, tip us over on Ko-fi. As a token of our appreciation, you'll receive forever access to our Discord, along with 30 days access to our uncut episode and interview recordings, plus our pre-squawk insights. Take your support further. Join a membership tier on either ko-fi.com/squawkingdead or patreon.com/squawkingdead, and you'll unlock access to more channels on our Discord server, receive shoutouts at the end of every episode, and depending on what tier you join, the ability to join us on camera and mic to break down future episodes alongside us. Thank you for hearing us out and making it this far into the episode.
We now return you to our regularly scheduled podcast.
I'm trying to see if there's any other thing that I wanted to cover, and I don't think there are really. I just love that the first fireworks that Carol sees is happy fireworks, and she's like, no, I don't want those. I'm kidding. I don't know if she didn't choose them or not, but
They were called happy?
yeah, it just said happy fireworks, and she's like,
Oh.
no, she was
I
reaching
couldn't
out
read.
for them.
I couldn't read the box.
She had become quite the pyrotechnics expert by the last one.
Right? Intricate weaving.
Except for that last one, or whatever, the one that fell over.
The one that blew over.
Yeah. So with that, I'll say thank you for listening to this episode. We went through a lot of things that happened in an episode, which you, I'm sure, enjoyed without our help. But I'm glad you came to listen to what we had to say. I actually didn't think I would get that much mileage from the Manousos, the beignets, the buns with cream in it, right? Delicious.
The husband balls.
The marital buns.
Creamy
Manousos.
balls.
That's like very undercover, hey, this is how we got married sort of reference, I think. It's kind of cool. No year. That would have been nice, but doesn't really matter. Anyways, I appreciate it. And you heard the call to action to do those things. I should also mention that we have and I should probably include this in the CTA, we have a merch store to buy merchandise of ours from. If you head to squawkingdead.com, tap the main menu, choose shop merch. You can go through our old merch store or our new merch store, whatever tickles your fancy is okay with us, because you should get what you want. And the only thing I have to say is you can attend these recording sessions, with something else I should probably put in the CTAs, for free. You just follow us on Ko-fi or Patreon. When you do, you'll be able to attend our recording sessions. We just don't post it on social media. We post it in our Ko-fi and Patreon for the real ones, for those who give a crap and who want to lend their thoughts in the real-time chat as we talk about these episodes. Why aren't you here? We didn't make it easy. Just want to save it for the real ones, folks. In any case, this individual was formerly known as David Cameo. I was here with myself, but also...
This individual, formerly known as Cosmo Mom 09.
This individual, formerly known as Blazy Gardner.
And you are also us, because we are Squawking Dead. See ya next week, you bunch of me's. You bunch of us's. Is that better, Rachel, with your face?
Yeah.
You bunch of we's.
There you go. Wheeze.
Wheeze.
See you later.
Bye.
Thank you so very much for making it to the end of yet another episode of Squawking Dead. This one, Pluribus's 7th episode of its crazy, hectic, incredible inaugural season, titled The Gap. And hey, we don't want there to be a gap between you and us. Consider following our Ko-fi and Patreon page, or so that you can be apprised of our next recording session. Namely, this week, it's getting hot in here. We're going to be recording our thoughts on Fallout's Season 2 premiere. We just recorded our thoughts on It, Welcome to Derry's Chapter 1 finale. And of course, gearing up for Saturday's recording of Pluribus's 8th episode, which will already be available come Thursday night, which is very confusing because I was told Friday nights, but here we are. Which means, hey, it's more important than ever to at least be following our Ko-fi and Patreon pages, if not tipping us so that you get early access to our recordings, because having to do 3 episodes in a week is a lot to do for a podcast who has day jobs, aren't receiving the funding that we need to actually do this full time, or not even nearly. So when it comes to just staying on top of what we're doing, we are recording these episodes as soon as humanly possible. We don't have screeners to be able to do this earlier. It's literally the best that we can do. Now that that's out of the way, I want to acknowledge our supporters who make these episodes possible. Survivors and Whisperers receive vocal shoutouts at the end of every episode, along with the visual. Walkers just receive visual shoutouts. So among the Whisperers, one of which joined us for our entire run of It Welcome to Derry and will be joining us, hopefully, in our Fallout coverage, Rob Lucchese, who you could find on at robsstuff_n as in Nancy _thangs, THANGS, on TikTok. And on Facebook, we have at kim.rowley, the number 1. And if you guys have missed Karina on our Fallout coverage, she will be joining us as well. So excited. Our in-house Fallout expert, who I'm sure has been boning up on all things Fallout since our last recordings, as we have talked since then. Obviously, we're pretty good friends. So there's a lot to be excited about, but hey, listen, guys, it's really, really difficult to keep on top of these episode releases, especially for a podcast that doesn't make the kind of bank that it can in order to stay afloat. Not asking for much. Not asking for anything really, but if you do follow us, at least you'll be apprised of when to join the free recording sessions. Doesn't cost anything to follow, doesn't cost anything to actually attend those recording sessions. We just want your input. That's really it. Though it is free to attend the recording sessions, the unedited episode recordings is a perk for those who tip us for 30 days on Ko-fi. And if you join a membership, you'll receive that unedited, delicious recording in perpetuity. With that, I say to you yet again, just remember that we, you, me, everybody, we are a single consciousness, are squawking dead.